Hey guys, welcome to another episode in our video series, Writers MD, where we answer the top questions asked and the top questions that should be asked by doctoral students who want to write quality dissertations in 6 months or less. Hey, today we're talking about how to know it's time to advocate for yourself. One of the big things that I talk about when I provide training and support to doctoral students that we work with is the importance of advocating for oneself. When I was going through both of my dissertation and doctoral processes, I had to advocate for myself both times. The first time, I remember the chair said that my research was making excuses for African American men, and then the second time, one of the committee members was biased against my topic, so he was attempting to hold me to standards that weren't being enforced across the department with other approved dissertations. And in both instances, I had to advocate for myself. During the first research study or the first dissertation process, I had to back up what I was saying or show how what I was saying was supported in the literature and provide support that these weren't my words, but they were the words of other researchers in the field, which was clear. And in the second process, I had to pull dissertations that were approved within the previous year at that very institution and show them how those dissertations did not meet the standards that this committee person was trying to hold me to. And so that's one of the things that I really encourage and promote when we work with clients across the country is the importance, this idea of advocating for yourself. And so today I want to talk about the top ways that you can know that it's time to advocate for yourself. So one of the first ways that you can know that are indicators that you can know that it's time to advocate for yourself is if you have a committee or a chair member who is constantly trying to change the scope or the direction of your research away from where you want to go with it, what you are passionate about. Now, it's important to understand if there's legitimacy to what they're saying, but also it's important that you hold true to what you ultimately want to do. And if there's a validity to the direction that you want to go in, then you may need to advocate for yourself. You may need to argue, and defend your position and the direction that you want to go in. Because remember, this dissertation journey is a process, right? And sometimes the committee members or the chair, they are expecting you to advocate and support what you are trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish. And so in some of those instances, it may absolutely be necessary for you to advocate for yourself in that regard. A second indicator for that you can know, or a second indicator that will provide you a good idea if it's time to advocate for yourself, is if you feel like that your chair or your committee are giving you undue criticism and they're being unnecessarily difficult on you. That's another indicator that you need to advocate for yourself. You need to stand up for yourself and not just take it because they are the quote unquote experts, right? In those instances, it's ways to do that tactfully, right? It's ways to communicate in a positive way that doesn't come across as angry or doesn't come across in a negative way, but it does come across as firm, and it does come across as giving the impression that you're not just going to take it lying down. And so it's important that you stand up for yourself in those instances when you feel like the criticism is undue and that the criticism is harsh, because your mental health is at stake, and your mental well-being for your family and for the things that you want to, as it relates to the things that you want to accomplish. You can't be productive if you're in a constant state of mind of stress and frustration and pressure because your committee or your chair is being unduly difficult and critical of you. And then one of the things that I notice with the clients that we work with is just this whole notion and this whole idea that you should just take your time. You should just enjoy the process, and you should just appreciate the journey and accept the fact that it takes most students X number of years to get through this process. If you feel like your committee is, taking a long time to respond to you, they're taking a long time with feedback and revisions, that may be a sign, that is a good sign that you need to advocate for yourself. I remember during my second doctoral experience, one of the advisors told me that, well, it typically takes students, X number of classes to finish their dissertation. Mind you, I submitted my very first draft on the first day of the first class, which when I say my first draft, I'm talking about the first 3 chapters. I completed 3 chapters on the first day of the first class. And so when the committee started to, when it seemed like they were taking a long time to get feedback to me, I went to the advisor and I expressed that concern. And when she stated that, I said, look, this is what I did. And so it shouldn't take a long time for me to get feedback so that I can address it. And so that was another instance where I had to advocate for myself. A lot of times you will, unfortunately, you will go through this idea of doctoral hazing, which is something that I talk about. And if you find yourself going through any of these scenarios, and in addition to many other things, just know that there comes a time where you have to advocate for yourself in this process, so that you can get through it as quickly as possible while spending as little money as possible, so that you can spend more of your time and more of your money on things that are most important to you. If you enjoyed this information and would like to receive 20 free videos of the answers to the top problems that doctoral students usually face while writing a dissertation, along with a free copy of the webinar where I have given important tips and strategies that could help you write your dissertation in as little as 6 months, please visit www.writerser.com/free, and I also have provided that in the description below.